I always want to start here. One of the biggest questions or thoughts and feedbacks I get from contact us or support is Tapestri working? I've been to tons of places. I don't see anything. I don't see any points of interest, etc. Great question. Let's address this up front. So the core part of Tapestri is it works seamlessly in the background and pays people for the data they're already giving away. That's literally the whole business. On top of that, we will enable points of interest and a whole host of different things that we're currently working on. Some people are already seeing points of interest in their app, but others are like, I went to Buffalo Wild Wings, I watched a whole game, I was there for hours, I left, I went to my places and it didn't show up, right? Why? And then I drove by a McDonald's and it did show up. And there's a whole host of reasons why that could be, but we understand it. The key thing is we're primarily looking at dwell time and movement. And after you go to a location like Buffalo Wild Wings or somewhere like that, a restaurant, and dwell there for a while, we definitely have that. And we will optimize that more and more to show you all of the places you go to. So that's step one. But here, let's go to location services. Is it working? Let's go to Tapestri. There we go, always. So you want precise location on. If this is off, I kind of have a roughly 50-meter radius of where that phone is. If I turn this on, now I have a really within 5 meters of where that phone is. This is different for Android. Ultimately with Android, you have a stronger prompt that you can edit up front. Never ask next time when I share while using your always. We want to place it on always. Okay, now let's jump into the app. Let me start over on Tapestri. It's your data, you should get paid for it. Now, I have Face ID on my iPhone. Other people have Touch ID. Some people have a keypad. It's really up to the consumer. They can choose. I'm kind of lazy and I don't want to put in things every single time, so I choose that. We don't get access to the face. That was a question that came in, a genuine question. Do you get access to my face when you do Face ID? The answer is no. Or we don't get access to your fingerprint as well. So let's go to the map. All right, so I'm seeing a lot of Tapestri folks around me, which I love. So once you kind of get into the map and zoom out, we have created a 200-mile radius of where you can see avatars. It's really a function of we want the user experience on this map to be kind of seamless. So when you go to your map and zoom out, you should see avatars right away. They shouldn't have to load or do anything. And all the avatars we see here are completely anonymous. So I'll just choose somebody at random. Let's go into Michigan. It's a great place this time of year. Pick some blueberries or hit next to the beach. This gentleman, Stan's Cafe. Awesome. I have no idea who this person is. He's there. He's completely anonymous and he's making money with Tapestri. Basically using our product exactly the way it should be used. But eventually, you know, you're sitting in your bed or sitting on the couch. You want to jump to London, you want to jump to Paris, you want to jump to St. Louis, wherever, and see all the anonymous avatars. At that point, millions of people using Tapestri, you will have that complete ability as well. And as Danny stated here, let me let this load for a second, you know, all of this information we do not see. So as you notice, when I went to that avatar, I didn't know his name. Like I put mine as W. Harrison. You could put your address here. You know, none of that stuff is displayed at all. It's really just a check for us to constantly remind you that only you can see your common nighttime dwelling, AKA your home, but no one else can. And we really want to optimize on top of that. So what we're trying to do is display your common nighttime dwelling to you and not display it to anyone else. But what's happening right now, I want people to see this. Do you see how it's spinning?
Mm-hmm.
So this is spinning intentionally because it's really I just zoomed out. I went to Michigan, I zoomed back in, I went to the avatar, and now I went back. And right now it's querying where my location is. At the same time, there are tens of thousands of other people using this app at the exact same time. So this time, sometimes this will go slow, and we are optimizing this. So when this happens, you know, what you can do is a couple things. You could just take it, swipe, remove it, go back in, and you're basically clearing the cache, just telling, Tapestri, kind of forget who I am for a second, and it'll work again. Now let's go back to the map. It should work right away.
Nice.
That is a tip that most people should be doing to really optimize your location, because I'm doing, every time I do any type of optimal zoom, these are map queries. This is us in the back end really trying to answer your question. I'm just using my fingers here and going around, Chicago, but as I go up north, let's say to Wisconsin, I'm now jumping hundreds of miles away, and Tapestri is doing a lot of heavy lifting. So sometimes it needs a break and we just swipe it up, right? So you get to this process, it's taking the age, it's taking the gender, it's taking my date of birth, and it's really optimizing me to do a bunch of surveys. It's gonna load, I'll go through a bunch of screens of opting in, bam, agreed, go back here. Now, when you hit this screen, you've kind of left the app of Tapestri. You're still in Tapestri, but you've kind of joined a partner of ours where you can actually fill out surveys. And people are making money with these surveys, Danny. I cannot tell you enough. Because with our information, this is the opportunity, what Tapestri has as a bigger thing, is because we're taking our anonymous micro data, optimizing it, and then sending you to a survey that is completely anonymous as well. And then when you answer those, you'll make more versus just random questions that generally every survey has. So people are making as low, I've seen 50 cents, I've seen as high as $15 for completing a survey. And that could take as little as 2 minutes or up to 45 minutes. People are taking that time. And we appreciate it. It's completely voluntary. And that's not something you have to do. It's really up to you. One of the other things on, hey, I do want to pause my location for the day. How do I do that? All right, account settings, right here, stop sharing. And the question becomes, does this actually work? Well, let's try it. Stopped. Let's go back here. Location sharing is stopped. So it's not even looking for my location. At the hardware level, because we have permissions from the phone, we still have access to the phone, but we're not collecting it. Tapestri, the company, can't get access to your location until you hit this green button. Now it's back. And that's, again, very intentional. We do see people who are forgetting, they've hit that button and they forget to re-enable. And if you forget to re-enable, that can hurt earnings. And we will send push notifications. So that's something that's coming. So we'll kind of remind you.
I could actually turn that off. Even it says for a day, but I could turn it off for 2 hours or 10 minutes if I wanted to. And I just push the green button to re-enable it.
Yes. Yep.
Okay. So it doesn't have to be for a whole day.
Doesn't have to be for a whole day. Nope.
Perfect.
Not at all. So you sign up, you now have a share code. Each share code is completely unique. We have tied your share code to your email address.
But once you send out a referral invite, it shows up on that referral history. Doesn't it show up on the referral history, or does it mean, does it only show up if they actually activate the app?
Download. Only when they download. That's
okay.
Right.
Okay. Good to know.
Core part of this app, I would just say, we try to be very, very simple, and you take a bunch of ideas, you slim it down. You really want to hit your goal. If Tapestri, if you see that location icon and you see access always, it is working. It is working. I wouldn't fret too much about the point of interest or anything like that. If you share your app and you look at your referral history, you should see people who've downloaded it.